Good morning. It's good to be back with all of you after the summer months. I hope your summer time was peaceful and profitable for all of you. Since we are in the mid point really of the month of September, I would like to just briefly talk about three different feasts that we will celebrate just this week. On Monday, we celebrated the optional memorial of the Most Holy Name of Mary. And today we're celebrating the Exaltation of the Most Holy Cross, which is today, September 14th. And then tomorrow, the 15th, we will be celebrating the Feast of Our Lady of Sorrows. The reason I speak of these, first, last Monday's celebration of the Most Holy Name of Mary, that had been a feast that really dates back to the earliest times in the church, but as a formal celebration, Catholic Church historians really give credit to St. John Eudes for popularizing devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary, and consequently, this Marian feast developed around just the Holy Name of Mary herself, and had been celebrated locally, but eventually became a feast celebrated in the Universal Church. Pope St. John Paul II revived that during his pontificate and placed it in close proximity to September 8th, which we celebrate traditionally as the birth of the Blessed Virgin Mary, 9 months after the solemnity of her Immaculate Conception, December 8th. And the Holy Father's purpose was to, in a way, familiarize ourselves with the powerful intercessory place that our Blessed Mother has for us in the Church, and with her Divine Son. And our Lord Jesus, we know, always listens to his mother. And having said that, we've just celebrated this last Monday. Now today we have celebrated the Feast of the Exaltation of the Most Holy Cross. And of course, that we know that feast takes its really root from St. Helena discovering the true cross in Jerusalem, and bringing it back to Constantinople, and eventually the true cross resides in a beautiful reliquary in the Basilica of the Holy Cross in Rome. But the Church's reason for celebrating this as a feast, which means we at Mass, we have a Gloria. There is a special section in the Divine Office just for this feast. There are special readings and proper prayers for the Mass, because the Church wants us, again, to meditate on the passion of the Lord and what his death and resurrection from the dead has given to us, and literally it's our salvation. Now tomorrow we celebrate the Feast of Our Lady of Sorrows, and that's intentionally placed the day after the Feast of the Exaltation of the Most Holy Cross, so that we again recall and we are reminded of how intimately joined our Blessed Mother was to her Son Jesus, our Lord, throughout his life, and especially during his passion and death. It was she who stood by him throughout that terrible persecution and passion, and it was she who stood at the foot of the cross and eventually held her Son in her arms after he had died on the cross for our sakes. And so you see the connection between today's feast and tomorrow's feast of Our Lady of Sorrows. But the Church also, in celebrating the feast of Our Lady of Sorrows, reminds us that there is no better person for us to go to in our own troubles, whether it's a physical illness, a spiritual problem, a sadness of one kind or another, whatever those troubles may be. Go to Mary. She, of all people among us all, understands the sorrows of this world and how they can really affect us unless we have faith and we have that trust in God's will for us, that even in the midst of troubles and sorrows, great good can come from it for us and for others. And so may you enjoy these days of nice weather and continue to grow in your faith.